Good morning, students of class 6. Today we will be discussing about the new chapter in civics, that is the key features or the key elements of a democratic government. Now, before starting the chapter, let me tell you a small story of the villagers of Umkomas. So, the villagers of Umkomas in South Africa lived a very peaceful and happy life. But suddenly, what happened? The British, the government, the white, they came and gave a letter to the head of the villager. Okay, and in the letter there was that they had to they were forced to leave their village, and they were to settle some different place near Pretoria. Okay, and that place was totally unfit for cultivation, but they had no way. They had to leave the place because it was the order from the government. Okay, so the headman was very much depressed, and he made a meeting with the people of Umkomas, and they decided that they were going to live in their land. They are not going to leave the land and go to the new place. Okay, they will stay in that land where they lived, and they will fight against the British or against the white. But they were very poor. They had no weapons also to protect themselves. So they told their opinion that they were not going to leave their homeland. And as a result, what happened one day, the British the government came with full force, and colonel also was there, and they they first told them to come out from their houses, but the villagers, they refused to come out, and they also told them that they can do whatever they like, but they were not going to leave their homeland. So as a result, what happened, the whites, they have used tear gas, and they have shot them to death. So they faced, the people of the Umkomas, they faced a very miserable death, and the village was totally destroyed. So it was a very painful event, and you can see here the discrimination between the blacks and the white. So next we will be coming about the apartheid policy. Now, in the apartheid policy, it is a policy where the people are discriminated. Okay, by seeing their race, by seeing their caste, by seeing their color. So all this, they make those people different. Now here also, this apartheid policy was there, where the blacks were treated as untouchables. There were separate schools for them, there were separate hospitals for them, there were separate bus for them. Nobody used to talk with them. Okay, they were considered as untouchables. So it was really an injustice to them. And then African National Congress was built. Okay, these people, they built an association called African National Congress, and this association stood against this injustice. Okay, and Nelson Mandela, he was the leader, and he was also sentenced to jail for many years. But later on, in 1994, this untouchability of the blacks, untouchability of the blacks, this was abolished. Okay, this apartheid policy, it was abolished, and then Nelson Mandela was again released from the jail, and he stood as the leader. Okay, and now we will go to key elements of democracy. What is the key elements of democracy? Now, in the key elements of democracy, people's participation is the most important thing. Now here you can see that slowly this form of untouchability is abolished, and people were stepping towards the democratic life. Okay, now the key elements of democracy is where the people can vote themselves. Okay, they were free to vote. So and choose their own representatives. Okay, and they can also this for this vote will be there, and the representatives they will choose, and the majority winner, who will be the majority winner, that party will be the leading party. Okay, and it will be for 5 years. Then next after 5 years again there will be an election, and then again there will be a new party or the same party if the citizen wants. Now if the citizen thinks that that the government is not working properly, then they can change the government in the next vote. So they have got the right. Secondly, if they think that the government is raising the price of the commodities, okay, and not maintaining properly the roads, the schools, the hospitals, so they can raise voice against it. They can make mass movement also. They have got the right to do so. They can criticize even the government. So these things they have. In a democratic government, in a democratic country, people have got the rights. Okay, next we will be going to the rallies, about the strikes, okay, about the campaigns in details. So let us see this in details. Now here you see rallies, strikes and campaigns. Now these rallies, strikes and campaigns, it shows disapproval, dissatisfaction. Okay, whenever the people disapproves any decision of the government, when they are dissatisfied, then they does it by doing protest it by doing rallies, okay, and protest marches. Now employees can make strikes, okay, if they find that in the factory the employers were misbehaving with them or doing any unjust activities. Okay, so they can protest against that and they can make strikes. Then there are signature campaigns. Signature campaigns is what? With people when collecting signatures. Signature campaign means where people collecting signatures on particular issue and then submitting it to the government. Suppose some event the people doesn't like it. Okay, they are thinking that it is an injustice done to them. So they can collect the signatures of various people, citizens, and regarding that particular issue, and they will submit it to the government. Then they can do it in a form of mass appeal also. Then there are social movements also. They can make a social movement or protest against it. One of that example is the Narmada Bachao Andolan. Okay, it highlights the drawbacks of the construction of a dam on the Narmada river. Most of you must have heard that. Now we will go to the role of media. What is the role of media? Now in a democratic country, media plays a very vital role. Okay, where people can express their views in newspapers, in journals, okay, in the television channels and in the radio stations. So this can also draw the attention of the government towards the problem. So through media, the government can also able to know the problems of the people. What are the basic problems of the people and what will be the solutions? Newspapers highlight day-to-day incidents. So newspaper also highlight the everyday incidents, what is happening. We can see it from the news channels, from the newspaper. And citizens were aware of the policies of the government, okay, and government and the steps taken by the government to tackle various problems. So we can know everything of this by reading the news, by seeing the news channel. Then in the news channel, we also see certain debates, certain group discussions going on regarding some issues, which gives the citizens chance to share the opinions and thoughts. Okay, and radio is also a very good medium even in the remote areas. There are very remote areas in the villages where they do not have television. So through radios, they could able to know what is happening in the world, or any new government policies were made, or what the government made, any solutions to any problems or not. These things they see in the radios. Okay, And they can also use the radio, hear the radio traveling long distances. Internet is the fastest media. It helps to create awareness and understanding of the works of the government. Okay, next, how are conflicts resolved? Now, how these conflicts can be resolved? Now, India is a land of diversity. Okay, now so in the land of diversity, there are many types of conflicts. It happens due to due to the reason is diversity, because some group feels discriminated against others. Okay, some group, they feel they are discriminated against, and others think that they are better than the rest. So India is a land of diverse okay, so what happens? So various types of religious people stay in India. Okay, with their with different religions, different caste, different creed. So there can be conflict between the two religions. Okay, between two castes. So how can this conflict happen? Some group feels discriminated against, some group can feel that they are being discriminated. Okay, that means they are not given importance, or they were being treated as untouchables, and others think that they are best than the rest. Okay, and some group of people may think that they are the finest group, they are the topmost group. So it leads to conflict. Okay, it leads to disruption of normal life. Then it may create violence and damage to society. Okay, because they will do some bad things that will damage to society. Okay, even they can murder, they can kill. So government here seeks the help of police, even the court of law. Okay, in some cases army was also used by the government. Now Indian conflicts are resolved according to the laws of the country. Now the conflicts of India, it is resolved mainly by the laws of the country. Now equality and justice are the two most important pillars of a democracy. Okay, because everybody in a democratic country, everybody is equal, there should not be any difference. Okay, and laws are also equal, justice should be given to all people are equal in the eyes of law. So these things are there. Constitution abolished the practice of untouchability. So the practice of untouchability, which was in the previous time, in the when the new constitution was made, this practice of untouchability was totally abolished, and it made provisions to make India a secular country. Okay, and special privileges were given to the backward sections of society. Those who are scheduled caste and scheduled tribes and other backward classes, they were given special privileges. Okay, because they were economically backward. And government also passed the laws regarding the justice of women, and girl child were given special facilities. In some states, some states provide free education of girls up to secondary level. Okay, then there were many tax benefits for women also. And also girl child can get the share of their parental property. Now in previous time, in the olden days, what happened, the king or the parent who was not having a boy child, who was not having a son, then his property will be taken by the British. Okay, so that was a very unfair means. Okay, but here now the girl child can claim the property of their parents, okay, after their death. So these things, these rights were given to the girls. Next we will talk about the topic about this, the Kaveri dispute. Now here in the Kaveri dispute, you can see that it is a dispute between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, state of Karnataka, between two states, that is of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Karnataka claims that Tamil Nadu has enjoyed a greater usage of water, okay, that is from Kaveri, and demands a revised settlement based on equitable sharing of the waters. Now Karnataka claimed that Tamil Nadu has enjoyed a greater usage of water, and now they demand a revised settlement where they will have an equal share. Now Tamil Nadu argues that the change in the amount of water will affect the livelihood of millions of farmers in the state. Now Tamil Nadu government told that if now this change, if there it will be, then it will affect the life of hundreds of millions of farmers. Okay, so it was a very just cause, and so the central government decided to grant an interim reward to Tamil Nadu, ordering Karnataka to reduce 205 billion cubic feet of water from Kaveri reservoirs to Tamil Nadu every year. So the central government ordered the central government then decided to give a reward to Tamil Nadu and ordered Karnataka to give back the or to release 205 billion cubic feet of water, okay, from the Kaveri reservoir to Tamil Nadu every year. But Karnataka government did not accept it. Finally, so there was very much conflict between these two states. Finally, the solution was given by the Supreme Court, as the court's decision was the final decision. So the final directed the Karnataka government to release 2000 cubic feet per second of the Kaveri water every day to Tamil Nadu from 7th October 2016 to 18th October 2016. So this verdict the Supreme government gave, that the Karnataka government has to give the water to Tamil Nadu, okay, that is 2000 cubic feet per second of Kaveri water. Now the court then deferred its order that required the center to set up Kaveri Water Management Board. Okay, so this is the new order given. The previous order that was given by the court to set up the Kaveri Water Management Board, that is deferred, and this new decision was given to the Karnataka government, and the Karnataka government had to obey the decision. Okay, so I think you have able to understand the chapter. Go through the chapter very carefully, and then we will meet in the next class with a new chapter in history. Goodbye.